Hi, second graders. Today is Friday, May 8th. Today we're going to be doing day 10, Unlock the Problem. Make sure that you are on day 10 in your packet because the work that we do together now will help you solve your packet problems. First of all, Miss White made a mistake when putting together this packet. This application problem is the same application problem as day 9. So you already did it. You don't need to do it again. You can skip it. Sorry about that. Let's do some fluency. I'm going to give you a number of hundreds and tens, and I want you to rename one of the hundreds for 10 tens, and then tell me how many hundreds and tens. We'll do the first one together so that you understand it. 100, 110. How many tens would 100, 110 be? 11 tens. Good job. 100 is 10 tens, plus 110 is 11 tens. All right, what about 200s? 200s equals 100 and how many tens? 10 tens. 200s equals 100 plus 10 tens would be another 100, so it equals 200. Getting trickier. 200s equals 100, 9 tens, and 10 ones. Let's talk about this. 200s, the number is 200. Just like this. 100, 9 tens. So that would be 190. How many more ones would you need to get to 200? You would need 10 more ones to get to 200. Does that make sense? Some of you might be doing this really fast, and some of you might be taking your time on it. That's okay. We're all just trying to remember different ways to make different numbers. Good work, second graders. Let's move on. Where is the hour hand here? Oops, excuse me. Where is the hour hand? It's at the 12. Where is the minute hand? It's also at the 12. What time is this clock showing? It's showing 12 o'clock. If the minute hand moved all the way around the clock, what time would it be? It would be 1 o'clock. Because if the minute hand moves all 60 minutes, the hour hand moves to the next hour, and it would be 1 o'clock. Good work. Let's take a look at these two clocks. Make the screen bigger. Remember that when we compare the 12 o'clock hand with the 1 o'clock hand, only the hour hand has moved. But in order to get from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, the minute hand had to move all the way around the clock. Let's keep going. When half an hour passed, the minute hand will move halfway around the circle. Where will the minute hand stop? The minute hand will stop at the 6. If it moves halfway around the circle, you divide the circle in half, just like a fraction. When we take a look at these, what time does this clock say? This clock says 1 o'clock. What time does this clock say? This clock says 1:30. If we go another half an hour, what time will it be? The minute hand will move all the way back up to the 12, but the hour hand will go all the way to the next hour, and it will be 2 o'clock. Do you see how when the minute hand is at the 6, the hour hand moves in between the 2 hours? But when the minute hand is at the 12, the hour hand is at the exact hour. What time does this clock say? This clock says 12 o'clock. If we move the minute hand to the 3, what time is it now? Remember, we count by 5s. So the minute hand started at the 12, so we'll count 5, 10, 15. The hour hasn't changed, only the minute changed. And so now it is 12:15. Does this clock formation remind you of this fraction? It should. A fraction of an hour passes when the minute hand moves from the 12 to the 3. What fraction do you see here? 1/4. Because it's divided into 4, and only 1/4 is colored in, or in this case, only 1/4 of time has passed. Good work. When the minute hand moves to the 3, it's moved 15 minutes. It's also moved 1/4 or 1/4 of the hour. Oftentimes, when the minute hand is on the 3, you might hear people say, quarter past. That means it's a quarter past the hour. Now, let's move the minute hand to show where the next quarter hour ends. If the minute hand is on the 3, and we want to fill in one more quarter of the hour, where would we go? The minute hand would move to the 6, so that it shows half an hour. Let me make sure you can see that. See how the full half is colored in? That's why we say that it's half an hour. Let's keep going. Where would the next quarter hour end? Where would the minute hand go? It would go to the 9. And then we would have 3 quarters past the hour, because 3 quarters are colored in. Do you see how a clock can often have the same language that we use for fractions? How many minutes are in a quarter hour? Let's count. Remember, we start at the 12 always on a clock. 5, 10, 15. There are 15 minutes in a quarter hour. How many minutes are in a half hour? Let's keep counting. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There are 30 minutes in a half hour. How many minutes are there in 3/4 of an hour. Let's count. Start at that 12. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 minutes are in 3/4 of an hour. Let's pause here. Let's take a look at today's work. Today, you'll be doing what we just did, talking about what fraction of each clock is shaded, using the words quarter, quarters, half, or halves. Remember, quarter is a fancy word for fourths. Then you'll write the time shown on each clock. There are 4 times shown, so write the time that you see there. It doesn't matter if it's PM or AM for these. When you're done, take a picture and send it to your teachers. We can't wait to see your work today.